Yo, welcome to episode 18 now of the Put On podcast. I'm here with my co-host, D. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing today on this glorious Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, chill weekend. All good.
Half-baked ideas.
And this used to be probably my favorite segment, if I'm just being candid. I love half-baked ideas. I love business, and so we're gonna start there today. If anyone loves our ideas so much and is able to go out and execute, fucking props to you. But we need shouts, we need props. Yeah, I'll let you. I want to hear yours first because you might have two. No, but you go first here.
Okay, I got one. And I keep thinking about the half-baked ideas of like, is there a way in which I could just have that as a career where I just give ideas, I sell my
Good
ideas
idea.
and then somebody can like run with them. I feel like there's been somebody that's done that in the past. But cuz
Yo,
I yeah.
oh, on that note though, the isn't isn't that what like the industry consulting as a whole? I've seen a lot of trends on social where it's like, my buddy's a consultant. What the fuck does he actually do? And it's
Right.
like one of those things where it's like they go into businesses and give ideas on how to be better. And so I don't know, man. Maybe just be a consultant and go into businesses and give ideas.
I
Give
know.
current ideas.
Agreed. And you know what? I've been trying to consult. It turns out not as easy as you think to get consulting gigs because
I
of,
bet. Yeah.
of course, if somebody wanted to pay me to just come and like consult and do like high level just ideas, I'm here. I'm available. But yeah, I guess that's kind of what it is. Anyways, I'll tell you what my idea is, and it's super half baked. Like it's really just an out there idea, but I was thinking about it off of the Vision Pro from like a couple weeks ago when
Apple.
that came out and that was all the rage. So I was thinking about this like I was thinking about how there are kids or like, people your age, people, mid 20s, even 30s that have to go out and meet people and are single, right? And like go to the club, go to the bar, and just how sometimes that's just you don't want to do that, right? Like you just want to stay in. But if you're
Yeah.
single, a lot of times there's this thing where like you just feel this pressure to go out to try and meet a significant other, um, especially people that are really wanting to have a relationship. So this is the thought that I had was like, what if you had a Vision Pro, right? But it
Yeah.
allowed you, it's like a Vision Pro, but for the club, right? And so you put it on, right? And
Yeah.
then you can have like an outfit and or pick your outfit, right? Have your best outfit, right? Maybe you take a picture and you can kind of like upload it.
Sure.
And then it allows you to go into the club, right? So you would be able to, I guess they would have to have some sort of like pictures taken of inside of the club so that it can kind of like almost like whatever a metaverse right for the club.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got your goggles on and you're at home, but in the club
Yeah,
is where we're
you're
at.
at home but you're in the club, and then it allows you to see other people that also would have this kind of like Vision Pro thing. So imagine like you're able to see other girls, right, or guys, but
Yeah.
whatever, and you're in the club, and then you could go up and talk to them and they can see you, right? They can see like the full version of you in your outfit, even though you're at home in your pajamas, right? And then you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
basically have a conversation with somebody at the club and talk and try and connect and like and then it kind of
Yeah.
takes away that threat of being like live in person of like and the intimidation factor, I guess, of like going approaching somebody because it's really
Yeah.
meant for people to meet each other at the club, but while you're at home. And then maybe you hit it off, and then maybe it's like, you know what? Let's go meet at, at a bar now, or like come over to my house or my apartment because now
Yeah.
like we've made a connection. And so that's what it is. It's like Vision Pro, but for the club.
Are your dimensions the same? Like, am I seeing like, are they 5, 10? What like am I seeing all that?
Yes, and I would say it would make sense to make that as accurate as possible. Like if they're going up to you, you have a lifelike version of yourself that they're seeing, right? And yeah,
Okay.
obviously it's not going to be completely. life like because you're going to be dressed up and while you're at home and you're looking like shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I just like the idea of
It
being able
take
to go out and meet somebody at a club, but doing it from
but
home.
while you're at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
taking
Yeah,
takes kind of the pressure off in some way.
it takes yeah, it takes, like, online dating and all the apps to another level because now you're actually, engaging with people conversationally versus, "Hey, what's up? Hey, how," like, texting.
Exactly. You're not
Um,
on the dating apps just texting and doing that whole thing. Like it still requires you to have a conversation, right? But
yeah, yeah,
the thing that you're bypassing is like the technology just allows you to be in the place that you really don't want to go to or wait out on the line or deal with all the bullshit of like getting into the club and not being
yeah.
able to hear people and all of those things. I could just
That
imagine a scenario in the future where like there's some sort of technology like that.
imagine, you're on wedding day and everyone's asking, "Oh, how'd you guys meet?" "Oh, yeah, Vision Pro," Yeah, we were just wrapping it up.
Right, Vision
That
Pro Club Edition. Right, exactly.
That's actually funny. Yeah, I have no doubt to your point that there will be something like that soon, sooner than we think. Which to me, like I'm probably more old fashioned. Like as much as like I agree, going out kind of sucks, and I would probably rather have a conversation in person. But I'd be curious to see how that looks, and where we take technology. I think that again, like I think we were talking about it before, but how human like can we get like VR? How human like can we get AI? And it's just becoming more and more. So yeah, it's an interesting concept.
Well, let me
I
tell you one last thing on it. I think the reason I came up with the idea, and I should have started off with this, is so I went out for a friend's birthday in the city like a couple of weeks ago or whatever, and basically we went to a club, and I haven't been to a club in a while, and it was
yeah,
so loud in this club that like you
insane.
couldn't hear anybody. And
Anything,
so
bro.
right? Like and so
Yeah,
how
yeah.
how are you actually supposed to meet somebody at a club if you're like you can't hear the other person? You're like going all the way up into their ear. It's like the meme, right?
I
Where like
know.
the guy
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
screaming into their ear. It's just not conducive to like you know, meeting a person and like hitting it off. I guess those aren't the types of clubs I guess you would go to, but I don't know.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah.
how I came up with it.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's funny that you were at a club recently.
I know it was
That is
pretty
lit.
funny.
And yeah, it is loud as fuck. I hear you. I don't hate it. I think we'll get there. I like that idea. Mine is I love that we both like kind of stick to the I think what very tech theme, but mine has to do with the fact that so take it like this, right? Like imagine you're at home and you have like, a few ingredients in it. Like let's say your wife's not there. Or again, I don't know, maybe you cook more, but let's just say, whoever's doing the cooking's not there and you're like trying to figure out what to make. And so mine is just a platform, probably leverages some sort of AI, but that's irrelevant. Where it's got all the ingredients like in the database, and you would put in and say, I have cheese, beef, lettuce. You'd put in like 6, 7 ingredients. You put in
I love where
what
this
you
is
had,
going.
what you
Yeah, I love where
and
it's
then
going.
what it does is it gets all that in the back end. It pulls from other, recipe sites and all these things, and it gets you like top 10 rated like dishes with all these things and the exact like step by step on how to make them. So, you're at home and you're like, I have these ingredients. You just put it in, you put the ingredients in, and now you've got like 10 different recipes rated that you're like, oh shit, no, I don't want beef tartare. I'd actually rather, this taco dish. And like as it builds out, people, like if you make one of them, maybe you take a photo of it, you rate it, maybe we send you like a free, I don't know, but there's something where like now people are making these recipes, rating them, now moving up and down the list. Like I think
It's
there's
very
a
I like that. It's like very it's like MacGyver. It's like a very resourceful I mean, actually, that would appeal to a lot of, like, single people too because right, because 'cause they're, like,
what I'm
a
saying.
lot of bachelors, that are at home and just trying to figure out and they don't have anything in their fridge. The other day, I came home and, from playing basketball and, like, I didn't have any food, and I had to, like, do something like that, and I always end up, like, trying to make, like, eggs, and then I'm like
Yeah.
throwing random thing. I'm like, avocado, or I'm putting cheese in it. I'm
Yeah.
putting like, turkey, and I'm putting like spinach and hot sauce. And next thing I know, I had a pretty good thing. But sometimes like you really don't have anything in the fridge. And it's like, I like the idea of being able to like, okay, I have like an apple, I have like two pieces of bread, I have
Yeah.
cheese, and I have a thing of pretzels, like, and then it's like, okay, here,
Oh,
make
that's
this
so
like,
cool.
or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
like just spins up some recipe for you. It's like, that would be really awesome. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think, yeah, one of the toughest things for me at least is like, what do I cook? And so just to have something where every day I could be like, okay, I have these things, and then I can pick between like 10 recipes and hopefully easy enough to cook. And then yeah, yeah,
Out of
I
curiosity, wait, no, finish your
yeah.
thought, and then I'll ask my question.
No, I was just gonna say that there might be, things that are already like that. I would just do it better. I haven't seen anything, but I do see the comment here from our producer that there is one called Super Cook, but we do it different. We gamify the situation and do it better if I was to go that route. Like I said, take photos of it, rate them, a little different. But yeah, what were you gonna
My
say?
my question to you is, what's your favorite meal? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
To make?
Just like, what's your favorite meal? Like, where do you like breakfast the most? Do you like dinner the most? Do you like lunch the most?
My favorite meal is I probably like breakfast food for lunch. So I
Okay.
like brunch, I would say.
I'm like you.
How about
I like breakfast food the most, and I'll eat it for lunch or for dinner. And then my second question to you is like, do you have problems with lunch? Because I literally just like, a running problem I have is just like, what am I going to eat for lunch? Like all the time, I'm just like, oh shit. Like I never know what to eat for lunch. I'm always scrambling,
that's
trying
fair.
to figure out lunch.
My my eating schedule is kinda weird in the sense that, like, I won't eat for the first 4 hours of the day, and then I'll eat, like, breakfast, lunch at, like, 11 or 12,
Uh huh.
and then I'll eat at, like, 4, and then I'll eat at, like, 8 again. So my, like it kinda feels like I'm having 2 dinners, so it
Yeah.
kinda doesn't even feel like I'm having lunch because it's like, this is my first meal. But what I always do for, like, lunch, if I have to do lunch and it's easy, is just, like, I'll have rice already, and then there'll be some sort of, like, whether it's chicken, shrimp, beef, whatever it is, I'll have something with the rice and then a salad or some like yeah, but I agree that it's tough to get creative with lunch. Like it's very similar my day, like my lunch every day.
I'm on the same schedule as you. I cannot eat right when I wake up. I eat late. I'll have like some fruit
Yeah,
in the morning, around like in the morning at like 11, sometimes even noon, and then
yeah,
I'll eat
quick
lunch at like
smoothie.
3:30, and then dinner 8, and it's like very close together, and then I'll snack like an asshole at night. Um, okay, I think those are two interesting ideas. Let's move on.
What's your no, I was just gonna ask you, you said breakfast is your favorite meal. What's like the breakfast of choice?
I am a I love eggs. Like I said, I'll eat eggs for dinner.
I don't know.
Scrambled, fried, over easy. Any I like in a lot of different ways. I'm like a big egg guy, and I like to put all different things in it, whatever. Like I grew up on ham and eggs. That was like my favorite, and now I do all different types of creations.
Juice.
And then
Yeah.
bagels. I'm like a big bagel guy, so I'll eat I'll eat like an egg sandwich on a bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese. Or my go-to is usually like I'll have some sort of egg, whatever, and then I'll go everything bagel, toasted, one half butter, one half cream cheese, with some fruit,
Okay.
blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, banana.
Yeah.
I love every breakfast food. I'm like, that's really what I eat the most of.
The New York bagels. I mean, you can't go wrong if I lived in New York.
Delicious. What
But
about you? What's your go-to breakfast?
I would probably say I love eggs as well. I'm a big eggs Benny guy. I love eggs
Really?
Benny.
Yeah.
Um,
Not surprised by
Not
that.
easy to make though. Like I'm not making eggs Benny. Um, give me a couple waffles. Give me some fruit on the side, sausage. Yeah, with eggs, like kind of a Oriental or not. Yeah, just like a full classic. Like not.
Wait, you said
But
so waffle, you said, right?
yeah,
So you go waffle over pancake or French toast or anything like that?
probably like a good waffle, like not a, one of those things at the hotels where you make the waffle, like a
Yeah,
legit
I'm a
waffle.
waffle guy too. I like the texture of it. Steve just asked, ever use waffles as your bun? No, I haven't, Steve. I'm not.
I've had
That's,
like a waffle chicken sandwich I've had. It's
oh
very
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like
waffle chicken sandwich.
that's like one of those gluttonous things that you do, and like you're just like, okay, whatever. I give up today. I'm going to use a waffle as my bun. But um, yeah, I've seen some of those types of meals. Anyways,
Music.
Let's jump to the next put on segment. We're gonna go with music. I'll lead us off here and then you go. The person I want to put you on to today, he's been around for a long time. He had a new song. I haven't heard his name in a while. He's a Canadian boy. And he had a new song that's popped up that is a banger. Have you heard of Pressa?
I
He's
haven't.
like you haven't heard of Pressa? Like, so he Drake would have kind of put him on probably like 8 years ago now, like 2016, 2017. He had a song Canada Goose, that was like all the rage back in the day. And yeah, he just released a couple new tracks that kind of got me back into him. But yeah, the one is super good. Let me just pull up. Get Back Up. Get Back Up is what it's called. Featuring Friday by Pressa. But yeah, if you haven't heard of him, check him out. Because he's got good range between like his old stuff, like a Canada Goose, versus what he just did. Rapper.
Yeah, I was going to
Canadian
ask.
Toronto
Give
rapper.
me some comps. Like, who does he sound like? Because I have no idea who he is. Like, how would you describe his musical style?
Who would I comp to Pressa? Like he is like just because I was listening to him yesterday. Do you know Jid or
Yeah.
no?
Yes.
Yeah, he would kind of be like if Jid and The Weeknd were like like he's more on the Jid side, but he
Wait,
has a little
can I stop
like
you for a sec? Is it Jid or is this a Sade? Is this a Sade thing where it's like, isn't it JID or am I crazy? It
it's
could be Jid.
JID, but
Jid?
I don't know. You know who I'm talking about though. You know who I'm talking
Yes.
about. Like
Yes.
151. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Could be wrong about that.
kind of like that. But more R&B,
Steve, look that up for
less.
us while we're talking. Is it JID or JID? I'm curious.
It's probably JID.
But that
But yeah,
guy's great.
Presta.
That guy's great. So
Yeah, he is.
I'll check
Love
out Pressa. You got any others or is that it?
No, that was mine for today. How about you?
So I was like, I've been scrolling on TikTok like I always do over the last week, and I keep and I did a put on the other day for Caribou off of like a freestyle. I guess my
Yeah.
algorithm has me like just getting freestyles now. So I've gotten like a couple freestyles in a row that have caught my attention. So I don't know so much about these artists. Well, at least two of them, but so the first one is I saw a freestyle by an artist named Muni Long out of Florida. She was on Sway in the morning show and she did this freestyle over 21 questions, like 50 cents, 21
Okay.
questions.
Yeah.
Um, and basically it's like incredible. It's just like one of those things where you hear her and she sounds like she kind of sounds like Lauren Hill-ish a little bit, like just a
Okay.
beautiful voice, but it's like a rap
Yeah.
over or it's like a half sing, half rap over 21 questions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like by the time this comes out, like you'll have seen this video multiple times because it's
Um,
just
yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and she does this whole freestyle where she like asks 21 questions that by the time the thing is over, she's asked 21 questions in her freestyle. Now, granted, like freestyles now, like nowadays, like they aren't most of them are not real freestyles. They're all like written, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Still, it's still amazing. And so you got to check that out, Money Long. And now I'm a fan of hers,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to like follow her career because just like when you hear this,
She's
you'll be
just
like, wow, yeah, she's great.
she's just popping onto the scene then.
I believe so. I've never heard of her before that I saw this video. So that's one. Two is again not a freestyle, but I saw um what it was labeled as a freestyle with another rapper out of Florida named BossMan DLow. He's got a song going crazy right now called "Get Him With Me." Um,
Okay.
Co-signed
Right.
by like Quavo and DaBaby and all these different people off of this one song. And he's got like a real kind of like Florida style, like this like twang in his like voice and like the way
Okay.
he's got
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a staccato type of style. And it's just great. I don't know. It's something about it. Like this song is like I keep seeing it everywhere. I saw like Carl Anthony Towns doing like a video where he's like rapping with his buddy to the song. So the song is blowing up. But Boss Man,
What's the song called again?
get in with me.
Get in with me. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll drop that link of that one. And then the last on the freestyle side of things, and I just mentioned is DaBaby. There's a freestyle from LA Leakers with DaBaby. And
I think I saw that.
yeah, anytime DaBaby is on a freestyle, like I feel like he's on a level like on his own. Like there's nobody that can compete with him because he raps so fast and he's so articulate, like you could hear every word, and he's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
confident. I compared him the other day to a friend. I'm like, he's like the John Moran of rap. Like the way that John Moran, like nobody can compete with him on his athleticism.
Yeah.
That's how I feel
Yeah, yeah.
about the baby when he's on a freestyle. Like just like
Freaking comp.
how like it's how confident he is. And it's just I'm sure you have seen that freestyle, LA Leakers. They do a lot of great like
Yeah, yeah.
freestyle ones, but um he's just so good in this freestyle. So I'll drop that one.
Yeah. To your point, like just the way the baby raps and how, yeah, like he's going so quick, but every word I understand. Like, whereas I listen to other rap and it's like I kind of if I want to listen to the lyrics, I have to listen back twice, three times. I'm like, oh, what they even say? Whereas him, I hear every word, and it's just I'm obviously he's lyrically good, but yeah, that is a great point.
And he
I
doesn't
never
trip
really thought
up,
of
right? Like he never like
yeah,
makes a mistake. He just like knows exactly where he's going. It's like
yeah, his flow.
he really has like a talent that like
He does.
is undeniable. And I know he
Yeah,
got canceled at some point, like a couple like might have been like a year ago, whatever. But just you can't deny the
yeah,
talent that he has. The last music put on that I have, and we talked a little bit about it earlier, just because like you said, oh, you recognize the songs that I mentioned, but like
I
whatever.
know the song.
I know we played one of the songs on our story the other day, Gorillaz, right? And just an incredible band that I discovered. I guess it would be like at this point 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and their first song that like kind of put them on the map was Clint Eastwood, which was like an
Okay.
all animated, and that's how like they got that was like their style was like they had these like animated figures that basically represented each of them. And
Yeah,
so like that was their thing. Like people didn't even know who they were. It was like these like different animated like people that represented them. So Clint Eastwood, but then from there, a couple songs that I would just put you on to Feel Good Inc., one of my favorites. I love
yeah,
that song. The song that we put on the
uh,
story was Dare.
yeah,
There's a song called Stylo that's with like Most Def, and I forget who else is on that. But it's an incredible song. The last thing I would just say about him is so that song Clint Eastwood's amazing, and I want to do a video about this, but there's a video right now on TikTok, and it's basically the lead singer Damon Albarn showing his keyboard and basically the beat for this like hit song that so many people like love, Clint Eastwood. is the beat was a preset on his keyboard. So like, basically all these keyboards come with different preset like beats, and like he just hit one, and like that was the beat that he used for this song that basically made
Kidding.
their career. So it's
Yeah,
just an incredible story. And yeah, the
yeah.
Gorillaz, they're amazing.
Clint Eastwood came out the year I was born.
All right.
2001.
Which would
Yeah,
mean, wait, 2001 would mean that I would be 17. Is that how much older I am than you? 17 years?
I'm 23.
23. So yeah, 17 years older than you. I turned
What's your
40
birthday?
in June. I
June.
turned 40. Yeah.
I remember that because I remember in when was I in New York? In October, you were worried about your 40th birthday and the party in June.
Yeah.
And Jules is like to me, like, wait, why is he stressing about his birthday in fucking June? It's October. Like, he needs to relax a little bit. But I
Yeah.
just remember it being very funny.
There's a
Yes,
lot of
June
planning
40th.
that goes into a 40th
Yeah,
birthday, and a lot of
where
money.
are we at right now with it?
I
We're
still don't have it figured out. I don't.
oh
I
shit.
don't know.
You
Yeah.
have to, as soon as you know, you have to let us know.
I will. I will.
Social content and creators.
Uh, let's on your freestyle note, let's move into social content and creators. But I'll start because one of the ones that they've got less than 100K on TikTok, so still kind of they're underground. And they are a couple guys who freestyle. And I've just been like, they're pretty funny, like back and forth. But again, whether it's scripted or not, it doesn't seem like it. Again, who knows with all content. But yeah, they're super, nothing compared to the individuals you mentioned,
Wait, who
right?
are they?
Artists, but they're
First, tell us what their names are before you tell us all about what they do.
they're VLone 69 is their at. VLONEE 69. Yeah, it's two guys. They kind of so what they do is they each spit two lines and go back and forth. And then like, one of them normally outperforms the other depending on the video. But yeah, I would say, check them out. Like it's engaging, it's fun to watch. I think they do a good job. It's kind of like, they got me bopping. Yeah, and they've got less than 100K. So those guys popped up. And then the only other social piece that I've got a few, but I'm gonna save them. I just want to talk about a trend. I don't
Okay.
know if you've seen the trend where it's like sad shark facts or sad capybara facts or sad, giraffe facts or whatever. But it's like it'll be like whatever sad shark fact, and then the next line will be something that's like human like that sharks can't do, and people keep playing on this. So like sad shark fact, they can never go eat at a Michelin star restaurant and have sex with your wife, or but it'll be like it's just so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But bro, it has me dying. Like the trend has me dying whenever I see one of those. So yeah, I don't know if you haven't seen them. I'll send you a couple of the best ones and we'll drop them. But that trend is funny.
Okay.
Um,
I have not
what do you
seen
think?
that one. I always get such a kick out of just like the little niche things that people come up with. Like they're so creative on social, and kind of segues into like the two creators that I have. So the first one is one that actually you put me onto, just straight up. The other day, maybe it was like a week or two ago, and then I went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Kam Edwards underscore,
man.
who has such a funny shtick going. And basically, I think he's a former like college basketball player because he talked about like he played in the G League or whatever. But his whole thing is that he does this like he has a structure where it'll be like how people who I'll give you an example how people who drink coffee black expect you to
Yeah,
react, right?
yeah,
And then so the video will be him being like, okay, he's like, oh, how do you take, I take my coffee black. And then I think it's him, but he has like a whole kind of
it
like,
is. It
like
is.
gallery of like what sounds like 3 or 4 people that are like,
Comically.
yeah, they're like commenting, but they're cheering for him. So he'll be like, I'll take it black. And they'll be like, whoop. like, yeah, oh man, you're tough. And then he'll be like, yeah, I don't even need the sugar or milk. Like, I don't, and they're like, wow, like you must be like really strong. Like, so they're like saying all this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, but there's so many funny things. And it's really about like, kind of like the hardo tendency of people. So it'll be like how waiters who try to memorize your order expect you to react, right? And then I'll be like, and then same thing. He'll be like, "All right, like, oh no, I don't need a piece of paper to write it down." And then his whole little peanut guy will be like, "Oh, woo!" Like, and they're like, "Oh, you must have a photographic memory. Like, wow, you're so talented. Like, you shouldn't even be a waiter." It's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
fun. I wrote down two more. How people who intermittent fast expect us to react is funny.
Bro, that one's hilarious. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So funny. How people who take the stairs instead of the elevator expect us to react. So it's like everyone is like that. And it just, pokes fun at people that like think they're so special when they, are like a vegan
It
or if they,
it is funny though. It is funny though, right? Because like it's one of those things where, yeah, like if you're drinking your coffee just straight black, or you're doing something ridiculous like taking the stairs instead of the elevator up, or what, like it is almost like the bits that he includes where the people are cheering and they're saying, oh my god, like look at this guy, Mr. Fit, Mr. Fit. Like it
right.
is almost how, if we were to do that, it's how I think I would want other people to react. Like if you're doing something to get a kick out of people and like, you want people to think, oh, this guy's cool, he's better, whatever, like it just plays on that so nicely. And I think that like the funny thing is, that is probably how people who do some of those things want other people to react to it
Yeah, of
if
course.
they were to know.
And and it's also kind of like your inner dialogue in some respect. Like personally, yeah, there's one part of it where it's like, I'm going to tell somebody, oh, I read a lot of books, right? This is like me personally. Like I'm thinking to myself, like, that might be impressive to somebody else, right? And like, it might be one of those things where the people are like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. But then there's also the other side of it where it's like, who gives a shit? You think you're so cool that you read a bunch of books. And then just somebody poking fun of like, wow, like you must
Yeah.
be like really smart. Like you're a genius. Like you don't even need social media. It's so clever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's really fucking clever.
It's
So
hilarious.
I got a real kick out of
And
that.
I mean, we talked about it, but he's got unlimited content that he like. I think I said it on the last pod that he'll be one of the most followed individuals on TikTok, in my opinion. But like, man, he could do whatever. Like, he's got a stick that just works for anything, and
I
I
know
love it.
there's so many things that you could take it. It does, by the way, though, make me think about something, and it goes back to kind of like the freestyles of just, because another guy that freestyles is Harry Mack, right? Have you ever seen his videos, Harry Mack?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And he
yeah,
was talking about, I saw a clip of him the other day where he was talking about like, once he kind of got a little bit of exposure and people started like following him and whatever, like he started getting calls and he started getting meetings and people were like, well, so okay, so this is like really cool, but like, so now like, how are you going to pivot? Like, so what are you going to do with this thing? And he's just like, this is actually the thing that I want to be doing. I'm doing it because I want to
yeah.
be doing it, right?
Gonna double
And
down.
so
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there is something interesting. There's like a conversation or something in social where it's like these people, they find their niche, they find some like kind of little clever shtick that they do. And then a lot of times people are like, okay, well, you've done this now. Like, what? So, how are you going to kind of like parlay that to the next thing?
yeah.
And sometimes, like, you don't necessarily need to. You can
You don't
continue
need to.
doing that
Yeah,
thing. But then there's also sometimes it does get stale and like you need to figure out the next thing. Like the breadbasket guys, they were doing the drafts and like I could not get enough of it. And then at a certain point, like I got tired of it and it's like, okay, like what is the next thing? And now they're starting a podcast and it makes sense,
love
right?
that.
Like they kind of had to parlay it. So I don't know, just a little interesting tangent on that side. My other creator, again, just very niche. Um, and like it's this
Yo,
girl. What?
hold up, because I was gonna ask you how you said niche, because and you just said it again, but you said it two different ways. So
Yeah.
I just wanted I was because before you said niche, and then you just said niche. So I was just wondering how you said it. But
I think
yeah,
when I said
anyways.
niche before, I felt like I said it the wrong way, or maybe it's just one of those words like like homage.
Like,
Like people say
yeah, yeah, yeah.
homage, people say homage. Sometimes I don't even know how
Yeah.
to say it, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I just felt like I needed to
Thanks
jump
for
in there.
pointing that out,
Anyways,
the grammar police.
you're
Um,
welcome.
the other person that I have, it's a girl. And again, like she probably hasn't even made so many videos like this, but it's such a funny character that she does. Her handle is at JPAN1, JPANN1. And she does this character that's the work wife. And so like
Okay.
she has like this like
I wonder
a
if I've seen her.
fictional like guy that she likes at work named
Yeah.
Jim. I think it's Jim. And so like her whole thing, and it's like she's being super flirty and kind of inappropriate, and it's like work wife
Yeah.
runs an errand with you, or like work
I've seen her.
you see
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and like
Yes.
like she's trying to like, and she's making comments about like his wife, but like, and then I saw a video just before I came here of like she runs into Jim and his wife, and she's being like super catty, and it's I have to give her like her props because she makes herself look like an idiot to play like this character, like not like an idiot, but like
Yeah.
it's almost cringy to watch it, but
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
relatable because like I know people like that I've been in work environments where I've seen that where it's like some, girl that's like being a little too flirty with somebody that has a significant other in some
Yeah.
way,
Yeah. Yeah.
and she just fucking nails it. Like she nails it. And when you see something like that on social, what it makes me think is like she could be an actress. Like if she could play a
Yeah.
character like that and
Yeah.
just nail it, like then it could carry over into, whatever, television, movies, anything. But again, it just speaks to the fact that there are so many creative creators out there, and they find the most random things that they like do. And it's
Yeah.
like the
TikTok.
guy that we were talking about last week, right? Giuliano, where he's like in Target and his whole
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like giving the phone to somebody else to record him dancing. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I get a kick out of all of it. So those are my two creators.
I agree. I've seen her. I've seen the one where she actually like goes out to dinner with the and she's like, "Oh, my husband," or she's like, "Oh, like your wife must never let you get steak. Let's share a steak."
Right.
Like it's just, but yeah, it's you're right. It's funny and it is relatable. I think that to your point, they could be, there's so many talented creators that could easily do movies and other things like, even with the voices, man, like some of the, like that Zacharific guy, I think I put you on, but like the fact that he can do the female's voice, the male's voice, kind of get color commentary in there. Like, yeah, we've got a bunch of talented individuals,
I think like
Um,
when you think about social right now, to me, what it like speaks to is the discovery of talent, right? So like whether it be music and like somebody like that guy Four Bats, or whether it be a comedian, and we've talked about so many of these different comedians, like now in order to be discovered, like you have to have a presence on social. Um, Maybe you don't need to, but like how else are people gonna find you?
yeah,
And
no, you do.
you could blow up so fast. It's like you just have to have like some little thing that hits a nerve or resonates with people or like gets into their, psyche. And yeah, it's like I have so many of those people. I have people that like I've wanted to put you onto, and now they're just kind of like lost in the ether because like we didn't do a pod. But she was just somebody I saw the video of right before and I discovered the first time I saw her was that video that you were talking about where she like goes to dinner. It's just so funny, and she's like,
Yes,
"Oh,
yes,
Jim," and she's like being, like saying all
yeah,
these things. I don't know.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
funny
yeah.
though.
No, man, she's
Life takeaways.
should we let's dive into the final segment here. We're gonna keep it classic. We're gonna do a life takeaway. D, you go first. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, you go first.
All right, so my life takeaway, I feel like they're all kind of similar, but this one is just on the fact that there's 86,400 seconds in a day. And so why do I allow, 60 of those to fucking ruin, a full day. And it's just one of those things where it's like, just perspective, right? It's like, someone cuts you off and you're mad about it for the next hour, or
Mhm.
someone says something to you and you're thinking about it all day and you're just not focused on whatever else you're doing. And it's like really like training yourself mentally to be able to, acknowledge that you didn't like that or you're feeling some type of way about it in the present, but then again, not let that affect the, 86,400 seconds that you have in a day by, a minuscule amount of that. And so just being able to, move on from things that you don't like and continue on and, keep building day by day. But that's my takeaway. It's just like,
Good. That's a good.
trying to brush off
Uh,
the little things.
that that speaks to me because that tends to happen to me. It's like
Same.
something minor will affect me, and like,
Yeah.
and funny that you say that because I saw somebody, I can't even remember, maybe it was a video, it was a basketball video where this guy was talking about how one of his players went 2 for 11 in a game, and like it completely like threw him off his game. And so the coach said, let me ask you a question. So, how many shots did you miss tonight? And he said 9. And he goes, okay, so 9 shots. How many? How long did it take to shoot those shots? And the guy's like, what do you mean? Like each individual shot? He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
like 1 second, I guess. So he's like, okay, so you allowed 9 shots, 9 seconds to like completely torpedo the rest
Yeah.
of the entire game, right? Like you have a 48-minute game and 9 seconds took you out of the entire
Right.
game. It's
Yeah.
good perspective,
That's
really good
fact.
perspective,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I have my takeaway. I just have one quote, and then I want to tell you a quick little story. So my quick quote is, I read this in a book, and I'll mention the book in a future podcast. It came from, I think it came from Startup of You, which is Reid
Yeah.
Hoffman, who's the founder of LinkedIn, and I read it a few weeks ago. And there was a
Yeah.
quote in that book that I wrote down where it's asking for advice is like looking for an accomplice. And I thought that was a really good quote, really interesting quote, because what
Yeah.
what it means to me is basically like, if you go into a conversation and you're not trying to be transactional and you're just literally asking for advice, what ends up happening is that person then ends up like trying to help you, right? Like if you just come like
Yeah.
like with humility and you're just asking for advice, like
Yeah.
they start to like, okay, well, I'll give you advice, and maybe I have people that I could introduce you to, and basically they become an accomplice in whatever it is. So like
Yeah.
I took that to heart because a lot of times, you have the thing that you want out of the conversation, and sometimes it's just as simple as just like you ask for advice and let that other person kind of like,
Love that.
take that and run with it, and you'll get a lot more value just kind of taking that approach. The story that I have real quick is just on my flag football team, the Panthers, who I've talked about before. And last weekend, we had a game, and just like before the season, I asked everybody on the team, I said, what's your goal? Right? Like I went player by
Yeah.
player. What's your goal? Some kids are saying, I want to score the most touchdowns on the team. I want to score the game winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. I want to throw, this many touchdowns, whatever. And then I had one kid who's like, great kid, this kid, Jake. Um, and he said he wanted to score his first touchdown of his entire career. He hasn't scored a touchdown. He's maybe not like one of the best athletes on the team. He's a great kid. He usually plays center. He kind of said it with a little bit of like, he was upset about it. Like, I want to finally score a touchdown. And we played like 7 or 8 seasons. He hasn't scored yet. So we are
Wow.
going into this game, and I'm talking to my quarterbacks, and I'm like, guys, like, if we can, let's get Jake a touchdown today. Like I'm challenging you. Like, let's get him a touchdown, right? So
Yeah.
basically we're playing some team. We're kind of beating them pretty easily. We're up like 13-0. And then they pick the ball at the end. And so they're like on our doorstep, 2 minutes left or a minute and a half left.
Yeah.
and they drop back and they throw a pass, and my son Milo picks it, right? And he's like going the other way,
Yeah.
like it's going to be a pick to the house. And I'm like celebrating. And this is classic Milo. He like thought that he was going to score, and so he started to slow down, and the guy like caught him on like the 5-yard line. So I'm like, right. But then I run down and I'm like, wait a second, like, let's try and get Jake a touchdown. There's like 30 seconds
Jake
left,
time.
right? Yeah. And so we're on the 5-yard line, clock's running, run down, first play, and he's the center. Like first play, I'm like telling the quarterback, his name is Asher, I'm like, just, have like a little like pivot play and then come back. And he throws it to him, tackled on the 2, right? 6 seconds left. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I'm like, same play, same play, same play. Does the same play, throws it to him, catches it like on the goal line. Kid pulls his flag. We turn to the ref, touchdown. And like, we celebrated like we won the fucking real Super Bowl. Like it was so, he was so like relieved and happy. I was so relieved and happy. And
That's
just like,
awesome.
it was such a special moment. Again, like I was talking about, my son's basketball game last pod, but again, like it was one of those special moments. And honestly, just like, it's so, sometimes it's like these little things that like mean so much to people or a kid, right? And like doing something that brings happiness and joy to somebody else can be like the most joyful thing. It's like giving a
Yeah.
present, right? Like how great that feels. And honestly, like he made the catch, and like his dad like thanked me, but like I told him like Jake did it, like he made the play, and I was just very proud of him.
That's
And
so awesome.
yeah, it was really awesome. And so Panthers got the win, and we are now 1-1. So 500.
Oh, the season's just starting.
Just started. That
Second
was
cycle.
second game. So we got that.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I thought this was like one of the last games. Like we need to get Jake. Okay, good. Jake's got the monkey off his back early. Jake,
exactly. Maybe now we're getting him a second touchdown this week. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's probably feeling it right now. Hand it to who's hot.
Yeah. So, yeah, another little like special moment. And when you get old enough to have kids and like be a coach, because I know you will be a coach, you'll know how crazy it is and how you like invested you get in these kids and how crazy they drive you. And it's just, man, it's like you learn so many life lessons. They teach you so much shit. You live vicariously through them. I think it's just one of those things where like, it's just one of those things that you can't understand until you experience it yourself. And I can't wait for you one day to like be a dad and go through that. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
I know. I'm definitely going to be calling you up saying, "Hey, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with this?" But
Al Jr. is going to be
Al
Jr. is going to be a little beast. I could already tell he's going to be like a little footy superstar.
Let's go. I appreciate that. Well, yeah, no, I think that's that's an ideal spot to end. Cool, bro. Well, no, good. 18. We're done 18. Appreciate everyone for listening in. On to the next. D, have a good one. Everyone, appreciate you.
All right, brother. Peace.
Thank you for tuning into the Put On Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to follow us on social @the